very own distinguished Toastmaster, Mr. Johnson Yee, would like to share with us his personal experience about the forgotten track of Toastmaster education program, which is leadership. Before we get him on stage, I would like to give a brief introduction of our DTM Johnson Yee. Johnson Yee joined Di Utama Toastmaster Club in 2005. He has served in the club as an active member, a club secretary, a vice president, and he has achieved the highest Toastmaster Award, the Distinguished Toastmaster Award, also known as DTM, in September 2009. In the term 08 and 09, he also served as in the district level as area governor before and club coach for UNITA Toastmasters. Professionally, he is a certified project management professional and he has a master's degree in information system. Without further ado, please welcome DTM Johnson Yee.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Evening, Bell. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Now, leadership is not something that we are born with. It's not something that is given to you, nor is it something that can be taken away. But leadership is something that you can develop, practice it, and hone it. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to share with you in the Toastmasters aspect about the forgotten track in the Toastmasters education program. Why do I call it the forgotten track? Because most of the time when we come to a Toastmasters meeting, all we hear people saying is that, I hear that you all have a lot of good speakers. Wow, that speaker is fantastic. That speaker really moved me. It's all about talking. But what about the people who have been doing the work, setting up the meetings, preparing the next agenda? For example, like what Belle has done today as Toastmaster of the evening. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be focusing more on the leadership track of the Toastmasters manual. And to do that, I have a few items on the agenda. Now, these PowerPoint slides, I shall be making it available through our club website, so no worries about taking notes. We will be covering the objectives, the Toastmasters Leadership Awards that are available today, how to be a competent communicator, how to be an Advanced Leader Bronze, or ALB for short, to be an Advanced Leader Silver, and to wrap up, and then we'll have about a 5 minutes Q&A session. So in this point in time, I would appreciate if you can reserve your questions to the end of the session. Alright, ladies and gentlemen? Now, the objective of today is to help you all be aware about the leadership track that is available in Toastmasters International, and also to how to best achieve those respective tracks. I shall be sharing it based on my personal experience and also to some of the information that's actually available to all of us through Toastmasters International. Now, first and foremost, when you join as a member in the Toastmasters movement, how many manuals do you get? 1? 2? Right. For those of you who have joined us after 2006, you all got a bit more from your dime. Because for those of us who joined before 2006, we only had one manual, and it's called the Competent and Leadership Manual. But for those of you who joined after 2006, you have the Competent Communicator Manual as well as the Leadership Manual. And that is what we are focusing on today. After you finish a Competent Leader track, you move on to what we call an Advanced Leader Bronze. It's pretty much like the Olympics, where you have the commendation, followed by the bronze, the silver, and finally the Distinguished Toastmasters Award. Now, to a lot of people, the Distinguished Toastmasters Award is not a communication track award. It's actually a leadership award. For those in the Exco, when you're chasing after what they call the Distinguished Club Program points, the DTM point actually adds 1 point to the leadership track. So hence, it is a leadership award. Now, I'll be spending most of my time talking about the CL manual. The CL manual started off in 2006. It was first introduced in 2006 for giving Toastmasters an opportunity to venture on to do leadership roles besides just focusing on communication. Last time, prior to 2006, just a bit of history, you cannot be accorded the CL, the Competent Leader Award, unless you are a serving member of the EXCO. And I'll explain why later on. But for the time being, for those of you who are new, and for those of you who have forgotten, this is our Competent Leadership Manual. How many of you actually brought it with you today? Very good. Very good. Very good. First and foremost, there is 10 projects in this manual. Projects in this manual ranges from speaking roles as well as those roles that are played behind the scenes. In achieving the competent leadership track, it can be a leadership facilitating role or something that helps you hone your leadership skill. First and foremost, if for those of you who have the manual and you're willing to share with your friends next to you, how to best achieve the respective outcome from this manual. There is 10 projects and each respective project has its objectives. Similarly to the Competent Leadership Manual, Competent Communicator Manual, you have the objectives very clearly stated here. Now for the benefit of those who don't read, I shall be reading the first one out. Project number 1, listening and leadership. How many of you believe our leaders today don't listen, but do talk too much? So this, ladies and gentlemen, helps us in this respect. Listen, to be a good leader, you need to be a good listener. And for that, Toastmasters International has made it very simple with projects, with role plays that you can do at any point in time, during a club meeting, at any club. So I would urge you, first and foremost, to identify the objectives of the respective project. So like the first one, listening and leadership. The objectives is this: to determine your current listening skills, identify 7 steps to better listening, and practice listening skills in various club meeting roles. How many of you are hearing this for the very first time? Now that is very common, because most of the time, what we will do with this manual is, we bring it along with the club with us and pass it to the person next to you. Can you evaluate me here? But ladies and gentlemen, to be honest, if you do not know what the objectives are of the role that you're being evaluated on, how can you best get the benefits out of it? And before you get the benefits out of it, another thing that I will urge you to do is that in every project, there is actually this rating scale. This rating scale here is primarily for you to identify where you are currently and hopefully where you intend to be in this respective manual. This particular manual is done, well, primarily you only need to do it once to be a competent leader, but it doesn't stop us here to help us to do the different roles.